A lot of the girls that come to Queens, I found when I talk to them and talk to them about like Queens, and whenever I come back from classes and everything, they're very, very dedicated to the studio, and they would walk out with a pitchfork for you guys. Why do you think that you've built such a strong kind of loyal community amongst your students?
We're just one big family.
Yeah.
Just there's always so much love and support in every single class, in every single night of the studio. And I feel like even people walking into the studio for the very first time, they feel that. They feel like they're a part of something. And and I say it to most of the students that ask joining the studio for the first time, it's like, you're just one big part of a family. I think our group warm-ups, whether we're from beginner all the way to advanced, warm up all together. And it's beautiful to see girls from different classes kind of crossing over. And
you'll often see everyone chatting during the warm-up, and sometimes they're in the same class, sometimes they're not.
And it's really special. You can just feel it.
That's it. Because I know I've got a lot of friends that I would never have met if I didn't start Dilly Hall, and I think it's just that kind of going on a similar kind of journey, especially when it comes to like body positivity and self-esteem and that sort of stuff. And a lot of the people that I met like 3 years ago, so even more recently, I talk to a lot outside of classes, outside of everything else now. So I think a lot of people are in that kind of similar mindset where it kind of bonds people together.
And I think it's that like infectious state where you see, and like obviously our instructors lead that, where we are everyone's biggest hype when we're here. So we're always trying to hype up our students, celebrating their wins with them. And I think the students, because they're surrounded by that and us doing that, they start to do it amongst each other. And then so when there's so many women all together who are all hyping each other and celebrating, and when a student gets a treat in a class, the whole class will go off because they've been watching that student working on it for so long. So I think it's just one of those things when you're surrounded by so many women celebrating each other, it's hard not to. Like you just, all of a sudden, you see a student who hypes up another one who they've never even met before. And they're like, oh, this is just what we do here. Like, and so having that back and forth between each other, it definitely creates that special bond with everyone.
And
I know Gnomes especially, that's one of the biggest things that she's always wanted to create within her studios. It's something that was really close to her heart when she first started Pole, was, that community spirit. So it's always been high priority for her that there has to be that sense of love, that sense of it's a safe space for women. So and she's definitely created that.
So what would you say to someone who was curious about trying Pole, but was maybe a bit on the fence?
Try it.
Why not?
Pretty much. Like, what's stopping you? Like,
if you don't try it, you won't.
Exactly.
That's the thing. And if you try it and you don't like it, you know you don't like it. Rather than spending the next year, 2 years, 5 years, being like, oh, maybe, I wonder if I would have enjoyed it. Whereas if you try, you either like or you don't. And if you're on the fence, you can keep trying it, get to that point where you decide.
I mean, a bit of marketing here, but we have free trial classes, so it's
free.
Literally got nothing to lose.
Everyone loves free things.
Look, there's some things I try for free. This isn't free.
Do you think that it is important for people to push outside of their comfort zone, or why or why not?
I think it is. I mean, there's that old school quote of life starts outside of the comfort zone. While I think there's huge kind of yes and no's to that, pros and cons, but I think you'll never know until you try. And it comes back to that, just like trying something new for you as well.
Particularly in terms of things like the noir shoot and trying pole and stuff. Like you said, there's not much on the downside. If you didn't really vibe it, you don't have to do it again. So always like giving it a try, because I started pole nearly 9 years ago with a friend. I just signed up to a 6-week course. I didn't do a trial or anything, because I was like, let's just give it a go for 6 weeks. If I don't like it, I don't have to go back. And 9 years later, it is life. So it literally has changed my entire life from
Yeah.
personal life and all the friends and family that I have as a whole into starting a university degree at 27 at the time
Yeah.
to start a full career all based around pole.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't have happened, and I couldn't dream still working in accounting like I was.
Like, and I think it's one of the things as well of like that maybe people don't talk about so much of like the stepping outside of your comfort zone. So if you've done something before and it hasn't gone well, but you still want to try that, and sometimes like if people have done a boudoir session with a photographer, they just have not vibed with, they weren't happy with the photos, but they felt uncomfortable in the process.
Yeah.
To kind of not let that stop them from still trying it again if that's something that they want to do. So similarly, you know, if someone's gone to a class and they just, whether it's the instructor, whatever it is, it's just not for them. But they still want to try the style.
If it's still coming up in your mind,
yeah.
clearly,
Sign.
yeah, it wasn't just pole in general or the boudoir shoot. It may have just been the wrong person leading it. It may have been the wrong time of your life.
Yeah.
And actually, how many girls have we had, you know, stop pole and then come back years
Yeah.
later and they're like, oh my god, I can't remember, like, I missed it so much.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't completely gone out of the industry. I mean, not only I have a lot of friends in there, so I kind of can't escape it. But I think that's one of the other things as well, because I still, like, I definitely don't do this often now. I do more kind of regular dance stuff and everything else. But I still always like to come back every now and again, and I'll do some of their classes whenever they're on and I can make it. And I've never really wanted to, like, fully step outside of that, and to do with the community and the dance style as well. It's very much, again, similar to boudoir, where it's a lot about, like, sensuality, and it makes me feel good in that moment, dancing and kind of just being myself for me. One of my friends, just to tangent slightly, the first time that I did a showcase, I brought them along, and they were, one of the things that they said when we were leaving was like, oh, you can tell if the girls were dancing for themselves. What do you do to kind of introduce inclusivity and body positivity to your students? Because we've spoken a bit about that being a very large, I guess, byproduct of what you do, but how do you feel that you promote that?
It's all we know, I feel like.
Yeah.
So it's our bread and butter.
Yeah.
Without even trying to force it upon people, it just comes out.
Yeah.
It's our norm.
I think very much because, particularly pole, we very much are about what we're doing, not necessarily about how we look.
Yeah.
So it's about what we do on the pole and how we feel when we're doing it. Who cares what we look like when we do it?
Yeah.
So like, even just simple doing tricks and stuff, it's about what we can do on the pole.
Yeah.
And the fact you can get up the pole. And it doesn't matter shape or size.
Yeah.
You can get up the pole. Like, and kind of seeing that switch in students as they kind of progress through that, realize they're more proud of the tricks that they're achieving than how they look.
If you feel comfortable telling us about your kind of self-love journey and how that interlaced with pole, but I feel like you kind of stuck. Did that.
If for me, like, since I started, 9 years is a long time. Like, and I started pole when I was 20. I think I just turned 21. And now I am nearly 30. That's like a pretty epitome time of life. And I've been 10 kilos smaller than I am now. And I've been 18 kilos heavier than I am now. So throughout the whole, like, and that time of my life, everything has kind of changed. I don't know how I would have survived it without pole.
Yeah.
And being surrounded, because at nearly 20 kilos heavier, I still got the same love that I get now, or when I was 10 kilos lighter when I started.
Yeah.
Like, the community has never changed across that, and I still get the same support.
Yeah.
So that probably is where, same thing, I don't necessarily see my body or weight or how I look, because everyone's always treated me the same.